step back about 2 metres.
We bring you back to the ANZ Stadium on Grand Final Day with Brendan Martin and his group, and of course their rendition of the haka in front of the southern grandstand, which is pretty much packed to capacity with Kiwi supporters. And away to my left at the northern end, predominantly, it is the Manly support group. But it's a wonderful crowd. It's a grey day overhead, but I can't see too many vacant seats, so they were accurate when they said it was a full house expected here at the 2011 Grand Final. For the Warriors, their second Grand Final from 7 visits to the finals since they joined the league in 1995. As our cameras take you around and then back into the New Zealand dressing room, the Warriors about to come out. As I said, their 4th final series under the coaching of Ivan Cleary. They lost in week 1 by 30 points at the hands of Brisbane, and that, of course, was their biggest loss of the season. Then they snatched victory over the Tigers in week 2, and then their best effort of the year, I think they saved for Melbourne in the preliminary last weekend. Simon Mannering leads them out, the captain who came into rugby league at the age of 17 from rugby, and I noticed that code is trying to attract him to go back again. So Simon Mannering, the man who took over from Stephen Price. That was a little bit of controversy to get the season underway. There's the beast, Manu Vatuvei, 7 tries in his last 4 games here at ANZ, and 11 tries for the season. They'll get a very big reception. Listen to it now. 14 times they've played here in Australia this season for 7 victories. And a sea of New Zealand flags, linked up, of course, with the New Zealand Warriors emblem. And Manly about to come out behind the most experienced of all Grand Final players in the big one today. Jamie Lyon, his 4th Grand Final. He played at 19 years of age with Parramatta in 01. He's been with Manly in 7 and 8. He won it in 8. And, of course, he's one of the products brought to Manly by Noel Clear. Again, the reception. So the aerial view from our Channel 9 helicopter, beaming pictures around the world. We're going to over 100 countries with this telecast, hosted down here in Australia by the 9 Network, the Rugby League Network. And it's how we connect with the world of rugby league on this particular day, whether you're watching up in the United Kingdom, down through Asia, through America. I don't know that we're going into New Zealand. They seem to have their own crews here today, and why wouldn't they? You people in the top end of Australia, in the west of Australia, down in Victoria, Papua New Guinea, hello to you, right through the islands. Welcome to the big house. 2011, the big day has arrived, and the 2 teams are waiting now for the rendition of the 2 national anthems. It happened in 2002, naturally enough, when the Warriors made their first Grand Final. The survivors of that are Lance Hohaya and the coach Ivan Cleary. Now for the anthems.
As a national treasure.
Truly beautiful anthems from around the globe.
Now welcome back the Australian Youth Choir to perform the Australian National Anthem.
Absolutely beautiful. The Australian Youth Choir, the boys and the girls, and the young men and women of that choir. And before that, of course, God Defend New Zealand with Elizabeth Marvell. Manly and the Warriors go into a huddle. Glenn Stewart, of course, the fresh face in the Manly side. Back from suspension for the grand final. Manly disperse now and run away to the southern end, which they will defend for the first 40 minutes.
As to the Warriors, that they reform again, just one final moment, and almost on cue as the anthem started, the rain started to fall, but it is now gone, and there's actually a little bit of blue sky visible. So conditions remarkably good after two grand finals already completed.
TAB Sportsbet have just gone past the $5 million hold on the 2011 grand final. So at the start of the season, I remember our first telecast. Chris Sando kicked off and I said, enjoy this ride because it's going to be wonderful. And I don't think 2011 has let us down. James Maloney will start the grand final of 2011. He kicks it down to the southern end, and it's taken by William Hopewade, and now to Joe Nullivar. who won a premiership back in 2003. He's playing with his third different club in his third grand final. Not many can say that. Glenn Lazarus, of course, he did exactly that and won grand finals with 3. Anthony Watmoe will play the ball inside the 20-metre line. It goes away the big T-Rex, Tony Williams, with the purple and lime green boots on. He's conspicuous anyway. We don't need any help really with Tony. Now Matai, and Stephen will play the ball 35 metres out from his own line. It's gone to Brent Kite, who won the Churchill medal here 3 years ago when Manly beat Melbourne. He'll play the ball back and Ballon spins it away. It's gone on to the boot of Cherry Evans. It's gone down deep and Kevin Locke gets underneath it. And he runs it more or less across the ground, just outside the 20-metre line. The Manly chase was good, led by Ballon. And now here is Vadavai coming in as he does and takes a run, but he loses his footing, so it really was an innocuous run by the beast. That's Brown underneath the tackle of Manly, particularly Jamie Lyon. And here is Hohaya, as I said, one of the survivors from 2002. He made his debut in 2002, Hohaya, in a grand final year, and he goes out the same way as he joins St Helens next year. It goes from inner at dummy half onto the boot of James Maloney, and Maloney boots it down to Brett Stewart. Stewart outside the 20-metre. Oh, he ran into a good shoulder there from Maloney. And Stewart will play the ball, and it's gone out to William Hopewate now. William playing the ball right on his 40-metre line, and Brett Stewart, not to be outdone by that hit from Maloney, takes it out. Towards halfway, he plays it to Ballon. Ballon goes away then to Kite, short away to Cherry Evans. Now it's gone onto Lyon. They've got numbers out there. Hopewate, though, as the defence slides across, is met by Vadavai, and the ball will be played 35 metres away from the New Zealand line. Lyon to Cherry Evans then. Inside ball for Brent Kite again. And he attracts the attention of 3 of the Warriors just inside the 30-metre line. It's back for Cherry Evans, who puts a boot in. And it goes high and goes back into the in-goal. And it's taken in the in-goal by Locke. So it'll come out to the 20 for the restart. And
Cherry Evans has shown a desire to put the ball up any time last tackle takes place inside the opposition 40. That time he was under pressure, didn't quite get the kick he wanted as Vadavai winds it up. He didn't slip this time and picks up 10 metres, and the outside backs will come in and help. That's Tupou.
Kite might have been lucky to get away with that, pulling him down, and the crowd responds as the ball goes ahead with Lillyman. The Queensland State of Origin player, one of 4 Australian-born players in the Warriors 17, and that's Michael Luck. Ditto for him as it goes across then to Maloney and comes on to Chris Manu, the man that broke the hearts of West Tigers. He'll play the ball on the 20-metre line. Locke was dummy half. Maloney with the right foot. He puts it down into the southeastern corner, and Hopewate goes up. He comes down with it, but he's ruled knock on. He's ruled knock on. Warriors feed. Warriors loose head. 10 metres out.
Well, both sides have got to an attacking kick in the early stages. Daly Cherry Evans too deep with his. An easy relief of pressure for Manly, but this one came down perfectly. It made Manly play at the ball. Hopewate comes up with the fumble, so really the first advantage to the visitors, the New Zealand Warriors.
That's what they're seeing from the helicopter over the top of the Olympic Stadium. Telecast coming out of the home of the 2000 Olympics for you people around the globe that have joined us for this telecast. Knock on Maloney. Tony Archer called it that way. I thought for a moment it might have been allowed to go, but I thought it just came off the fingers and went forward.
Well, a real anticlimax. Great opportunity for the Warriors early on, and pass just up. He has a little bit of a look. It's a line ball one, but the referee called it immediately, and it's a let-off, even in these early stages.
Bit of nerves there, isn't there? That's just a nervous play, coming up with that fumble.
The Foreign works the scrum. Stewart out the back to Lyon. Hopewadi was taken in a crunching tackle from Vartave. Came in on the youngster and absolutely swallowed him in the tackle. Now Nullavow takes it out to the 20-metre line. Middle of the ground, playing it for Ballon. And now to Brent Clark. Ohio and Mannering featuring in that tackle. Here's Williams. Biggest man on the park. Here is Foran having a look at them. Many of the players he'll be playing with in a fortnight's time in Newcastle in the Test match. Cherry Evans keeping it low. It skims across the turf. And young Locke comes back and is met by Stewart. The lock forward together with Ballon.
The Warriors have been very good early. Here's a good hit.
Matai on Inu. Really shaking Inu up, but he's okay. He plays the ball quickly and Tupou takes the ball away.
Well, Matai read it really well, because normally they would have gone to the left side to Manu Vatave. They tried to bring Kristen Inu early in the tackle count, and Matai saw him coming and nailed him. It's a Big 10.
Brown playing the ball. Here's Packer. Packer almost to the middle of the ground. Ohio now coming to the right side to Maloney. Johnson. They tend to go away from the youngster in the early part of it. Oh, Maloney again! Another shoulder from the number 6. That time on Michael Robertson. Matai takes a similar hit from Inu. So that's square. It's 15 all.
Oh, beautiful.
Inu versus Matai.
Beautiful.
Jamie Lyon taken down. Just inside the 40-metre line. That was the get square. Here's Nullavow. Taken over there by the Warriors. Number 17, Taylor. So it's Cherry Evans inside for Stewart. Back to his brother Brett. And Brett will play the ball. 3 or 4 metres into New Zealand's territory. Foran now drives it down towards Tupou. Tupou comes out of the corner at the northern end of the ground. You play it 12 metres out, playing it back to Maloney. And here is Vartave. Gets it out to the 20-metre line. In a Dundalk run from Manu. Now Locke. The will-o'-the-wisp fullback is tackled.
He was nearly through.
He was indeed on the 30-metre line, his own end of the park, and Lewis Brown goes out to the 40-metre line. Talking of destroyers, he was the one that, with Johnson, put a seal on Melbourne. And played now by Jacob Lillyman. He goes on to the right foot of the number 7, young Johnson, and that'll go dead. And so it does.
Well, the hits are strong. They're really sorting each other out. The early stages of a grand final, everyone wants to have a run. Everyone wants to have a good tackle. I tell you, they're all getting into their chop at the moment.
So Glenn Stewart shrouded by the tackle of Taylor. The stars of the Toyota Cup from last year. As of course was Johnson. You've seen the crop of youngsters they got coming through in the under-20 Toyota Cup, which preceded this match today. Heartbreak for the Cowboys. I was interested to read that Graham Lowe thinks there's another under-20 side over there. The next crop coming through just as good as this one. So here's Foran going around the back. He's found Brett Stewart. Brett goes down, loses the ball. Knock on against Manly. And no advantage New Zealand.
New Zealand in the early stages out on the edges, both on the left and right-hand side of the field, are very aggressive and coming up and in. Now, this is going to be a real challenge if they keep that up for the whole day, because Manly does have the ability to get to the outside on both sides of the field. Lovely work play there. You see where Inu went up and in, left his winger Tupou well back. Now, they've muffed it up on this occasion, but they'll come back and explore that again, because the Warriors can't keep getting it right if they keep trying to do that. At some stage, they'll make a mistake and a misread.
And on both occasions, man, it looked dangerous down the sides. The wingers have made good decisions there. Tupou actually knocked the ball loose out of the grasp of Brett Stewart, and on the other side, point out Vatave slid nicely to nullify any overlap that was unfolding. Manly bench up, stretching. Inu takes the ball from the scrum win and is forced sideways and backwards.
Krishnan Inu, one of only 3 players with grand final experience in the New Zealand side, and there's the ball taken away. It's a strip, and it's against Glenn Stewart on Johnson, the half. More than one in the tackle, and the ball stolen, according to referee Matt Checken in his first grand final.
Well, Glenn doesn't like the call, but there were 2 players down low, and as Johnson comes over the top, his arms are around the football in a pushing motion, so you can understand the referee's decision as Lilliman takes it inside the 40.
32 metres away now. From the Manly line, down the corridor on the eastern side of the ground, and Johnson finds the 15 Packer. So Packer will play the ball when his momentum eventually ceases. There does now this large number 15. And the trap with the ball is Ohio, loses the ball and is dived on by 4, and is it Ballon?
Well, it's great stuff from Anthony Watmo. Again, aggressive. He saw that the dummy half was slow in going away, and he forced the mistake. That's now the first against the Eagles.
Played by Williams, and there it is on replay as Vance Ohio loses the ball, coughs up possession to Manly. On the halfway, Cherry Evans to Stewart. Stewart down the line, ball went forward. Taken by Hopewadi, to the disappointment of the crowd.
Yeah, again, watch the New Zealand defence here, racing up to cut down the thinking time of these Manly outside players, but it's fraught with danger. They nearly get in behind them. Lovely little shuffle to the outside here by Stewart. Puts Lyon in behind, and Hopewadi would have been free. Now, the New Zealand Warriors defenders don't normally rush like that. So it's obviously a tactic for today. And I dare say, eventually they make a mistake.
Well, there was no reason for Vadavay to come in. It was 4v4, and he came in on a man that was already marked by his inside player. So he presented the opportunity. There he is now from the scrum win.
Hold on, Anthony, up now! Hold, Manly, go.
No score after 12 and a half minutes of the grand final. And Mannering is picked up. An appeal from Ohio for a dangerous position. Luck it is that turns it in for Lilliman. And Lilliman will play the ball 28 away. Centre of the ground now. Maloney a challenge. Packer goes up on the back of his number 6. And Packer will play the ball. And it goes with Ohio. He beats one. Got the ball back to Maloney. Maloney to Packer, standing still. Now to Johnson. Cut out ball, Brown. Brown to Vadavay. Vadavay swings the ball in. Brown is there. Now Locker's got the ball. Back to Johnson. 6 more tackles. Johnson dances his way inside the 10. And he'll play the ball. Played back for Taylor. To come away to Maloney. And now to Locke. And Locke it is that gives the ball to Inu. Inu slowly takes it ahead before stepping off his left foot and tries to go between the tackle of Stewart and Nullivan. New Zealand on their second tackle now. Lilliman has a go. He's 3 metres out from the southern try line. Ohio's with the ball. Got rid of one. Maloney for the line, but he's held up. Brilliant defence from Manly at the moment. So 3 gone. The Warriors attacking. Ohio long. Down low for Johnson. A little kick for Vadavay. It's on the ground. It's gone dead.
Dead off then, 20.
And it's dead off New Zealand. So it's a 20-metre restart.
Brilliant football and brilliant defence. That was a great passage of play. The best passage we've seen in the game so far. Manly had to defend their line for 2 sets of 6. And in the end, an early kick in the tackle count, showing due respect to Manly's defence. But Vadavay can't come up with the grab.
So it's Williams again. Manly, their 18th grand final. They've won it 7 times. Their first in 72, their most recent in 08. It was Robertson who scored 3 tries in that 08 grand final. In his last game for Manly today, Michael. He plays it back for Matt Ballon. Now it goes to Cherry Evans. He got away from the tackle of Taylor. Oh, Johnson almost was able to pluck it out of midair.
But again, and when you see the high shot here, Look how New Zealand nearly do this to themselves and get themselves outnumbered. Very aggressive off the line. Watch them race up quickly. Here they come, really quickly. And then one little shuffle to the outside, and all of a sudden they would have been beaten 2-on-1 if Johnson doesn't come up with a touch. Now that was an important one from him. Cherry Evans is saying to his teammates, we'll get these blokes out here. It's a good battle. It's tactical. So far, Warriors making the right decisions, but how long can it last?
So Manly trying to fish a penalty out there by locking the ball in the scrum. Cherry Evans played it. Now Nullavow to the halfway line. And around the legs is Michael Luck, and up the top is Hohaya. Now for Watmo, and Watmo is taken by Taylor. They're just outside the 40-metre line. Manly then, with Foran going back to Stewart, now to Matai. And Matai is grounded 25 metres away from the New Zealand line. Play the ball, interrupted by a man at the back of it, but it was allowed to go. And Stewart it is. Brett, he'll play the ball. 15 away from the line. This is the last. Foran puts a kick in. Pressure for Vatuvei. Down it comes. Went backwards to Vatuvei. And it's gone down for New Zealand to play the ball 10 metres out from their line.
Did he unload that, Rabbits?
Oh, Michael Luck. I think Williams, it was to put a shoulder on him, but he's penalised Manly for being inside the 10.
What about Manu Vatuvei passing this ball after he comes up with the grab? This is 2 metres out from his own line. This is how they play. He gets it, you get smashed, and he pops it out the back. They're like kids playing in the park. How do you feel, Rabbits?
Back here, mate.
I feel wonderful. Why, do I look off colour?
No, you look terrific. I love you in a tie.
Nobody cares how I feel. Here's Packer with the ball.
You don't often wear a tie.
Hold.
Played by Packer on halfway. Johnson goes back to Lillyman. It's a tough grand final. There's been some massive hits out there.
And that was Packer's last play in the opening exchange. Sam Rapira on now for the Warriors. As Maloney throws the dummy on the inside. It's not fallen for by Tony Williams and Kieran Foran. Been very strong on that left edge defence, those two.
Rapira will put some metal into this attack. He's a very, very aggressive runner. Johnson, dummy, give. Vatuvei is with the ball. And Jamie Lyon it is that makes the tackle. Brown a dummy half, Johnson the kick, and Inu has fallen over in back play, but Robertson's cleaned it up for Manly.
Well, Inu, I don't know whether Matai ran into Inu or Inu ran into Matai. Now they've culminated with the penalty, but Inu has been really dangerous chasing kicks in recent weeks.
Offside. Well done.
And Inu was taken out. Let's see, have a look. Well, Matai just runs straight up and tackles him. How did they miss that? Inu was 12 metres away from the ball. Matai just ran up and tackled him.
So Manly with the penalty. And taking the free kick on the halfway line is Matai. Foran for Watmo. And around the legs is Luck, and over the top is Rapira with Lillyman. As Ballon gives it away to Brent Kite, and he's taken head on by Hohaya. Pulled to the ground with the help of Taylor. Ballon now, Foran's with the ball, short for Williams. And Tony will play the ball. He's 30 metres out from the line. And Williams looking up at the referee, thinking there should have been a penalty given. Watmo is with it now. Lillyman is with him, so is Rapira. Luck goes in, a mouth guard goes flying. Ballon gives the ball. Cherry Evans' pass is knocked down. It's picked up by Jamie Lyon. This is 0. And Lyon will play the ball with 6 tackles up their sleeve. It's with Nullavow now. And Joe is 10 metres out. Up at the northern end of the ground. Is Manly going to be the first to score? Cherry Evans to Glenn Stewart. Flick passes to Jamie Lyon. Ball goes back, and it's Brett Stewart with the ball. He plays it though, and they're 7 metres out. Brent Kite winds it up and is taken by Hohaya around the legs and lock up the top. Another chance for Manly. Cherry Evans on the line. Line to Hopewadi. Hopewadi for the corner. wants to look at it.
This will be 4.
Well, the Manly players look a little bit
grounding.
more confident than the New Zealand defenders. Consecutive sets put together there by Manly, and that's what the Warriors need to avoid. If Manly have enough shots at you inside your 20, they will hurt you. Now, Will Hapuata scored 2 tries in each of the finals to date, and this is going to go upstairs again to have a look. His body is very, very close to simultaneously going out as he puts the football down.
I think he's hit the line.
Yeah, I think the benefit of the doubt on that occasion goes to the defensive team.
Yeah. I think his hip hits the ground a fraction before the ball hits the turf. They'll take this as slow as they can. I think the hip's on the ground there and the ball comes down later. So Manu, who was caught a little flat-footed, but because of his size and his big frame, he was able to make the hit.
No try. We'll take a break and come back.
It's a scrum.
And back at the grand final, this is Vatave taking the first play off the scrum, won by New Zealand. Now for Rapira. And he's met by the Manly defence. Nullavow and Kite on that occasion. Here's Brown. He's played some back row, playing in the centres today. As Hohaya gives the pass to Mannering. And Simon to play the ball about 8 metres short of halfway. That's gone to Maloney, and Maloney opting to play the game down in this corner if we can. And Stewart, it is, that brings it back. And Maloney leads the charge down the ground, and Inu is suggesting he may have lost the ball.
That's a beautiful kick from James Maloney. That's the way to play field positions. Manly play still coming back onside. The chase was good. Inu very physical. And that's 3 tackles now, and Will Hopoate, well, he does well to get just shy of the 30.
Ohio doing a lot of defence. Blocking up the middle. First choice of dummy halves is Ohio for Ivan Cleary as Stewart goes along to Jamie Lyon, and Lyon will be made to play the ball about 7 metres on his own side of halfway.
Last tackle now, Kieran Foran will kick straight at the fullback Kevin Locke, who gets a friendly bounce. Jacob Lilliman off, another outstanding 20 minutes from him. Mateo about to come into the action as Locke is nailed from the kick return.
No dummy half just for a moment. Vardavani just got there in time. He'll play the ball inside the 40-metre line. So still we've got no score, and we are with something like 17 and a half minutes of time remaining. Rapira back and across, Maloney on, Inu is with the ball, Matthias with Inu, and takes him to ground. Krishnan plays it to Tupou, now Maloney, and it's a short ball to Mateo, and Mateo pokes the nose through. He'll play the ball on 5, Ohio to Johnson, Johnson goes very high. Vardave's underneath it, but it's taken there by Locke. He gives it to Johnson. Here's the youngster putting a kick into the in goal. It'll go dead. It'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
Well, I think Johnson was claiming he was taking out after the kick. I don't think he would have got there, but Manly very aggressive on chasers getting through. Let's see the little kick. And then he's tackled well after it.
Yeah, that's definitely a penalty to the Warriors there. As Jamie Lyon beats 1, beats 2, but can't beat the number 11, Mateo, coming across in cover.
Abouadi taken over there by Matalino, who's on the ground now, I fancy. Yes, he is.
We saw an illustration of Mateo's danger. There's Moro, nice little ball on the outside to Watmo, here's 4, and Mateo can play before the line and through the line. This is the kind of game where he can pop up passes after he gets through. That's what he did so well against Melbourne last week, as Watmo goes one way, heads the other.
Spins back, and he comes back to where he really started, in the middle of the ground. He's 12 metres into Warriors territory as Cherry Evans turns an inside ball for Stewart, and Glenn Stewart to play the ball. Back to Ballon, they go to the blind, and Cherry Evans puts a kick in. Jamie Lyon might have been a tad in front of him. Oh, Kevin Locke was brilliant in the air and was immediately barreled when he came back down by Kieran Foran.
This is a high-quality game. For a grand final, really high-quality game. Players are really putting their body on the line. Collisions are fierce. Little tactical battles going on. It's good stuff.
Tupou now, 25 out. And George Rose in 17. Being called into battle as Madalino takes the tackle on the 30-metre line. Jeremiah is out there now. He puts a kick down the ground and will be taken by Hopewate. So William comes back towards the 40-metre line. Put down over there by Brown together with Johnson.
And within the first 25 minutes of play, Ivan Cleary has all four interchange men into the action at the one time. As Manly now through Brent Kite, bring it out. It's well tackled low by Jeremiah.
So Foran calling play to the left, and it goes to Williams, who tries to shovel a player out of the road. And he'll play the ball on the 40-metre line, and Matai goes for a dummy half scurry. But he's interrupted as he's pulled out by Mandering. He lost the ball. Matai's not happy.
Let the ball go, mate. You let the ball go. You let the ball go, mate. He just let the ball go, mate.
Sounded a bit like John McEnroe at the end of this, did Steve Matai?
I know. He can tackle it, and when the tackle's complete, he can get his hand off it. Yeah. He just let the ball go.
All over it, Tony.
Kieran, I've made the decision.
You can't be serious. And the referee was, and only 3 penalties in the opening 26 minutes. 2-1 in favour of the Warriors, who now have the scrum, feed and win.
So Johnson, now for Brown, and Lewis Brown taken by Cherry Evans. 35 metres out from their own line, the Warriors. Johnson with an inside ball for Mateo, and he will play the ball just on his own side of halfway. This is Madalino, and Rose has got him, so has Williams. He got a pass out. It's gone with Jeremiah down the ground. 33 metres out from the Manly line. Is this game...
Georgie Rose, boys, let's have a little look at this. Looked like he missed, but he may have clipped him.
Right, you heard the referee.
Some suggestion that Georgie Rose has had a little dip here. The referee is onto it, and he's saying, did he clip him or not? Let's have a look. Makes a run into the backfield. Georgie's getting there as quick as he can. He's there. He's there. He's there. And crack.
Oh yeah, that's a cheap shot, that one.
Yeah. Well picked up by the referee.
And that can do some serious damage, that.
Oh, that's awful.
Forearm, made contact. On report. Very careful.
Gee whiz. He might be a lucky boy to stay there on that.
Is he right? It's on report, so it's a free replacement if he needs it.
A fair bit of intent in that.
Well, I'll tell you, if the guy was running at him and he goes in that motion with the elbow to where he's connected there, he wouldn't be on.
Yeah, that's... it was one of frustration because he'd sort of been beaten and was coming back onside, wanted to get a shot on and couldn't do it, and then it was a clumsy effort. The referee wasn't sure whether he connected or not, but the fact the player stayed down would suggest there was a glancing blow. But it's more the intent in that, and that's not a good one. Anyway, they've made the decision, and the Warriors get a chance to open the scoring in this grand final.
So it'll be James Maloney from right in front, about 32 metres out. 392 points in 2 seasons with the Warriors. That puts him third on the club's all-time point-scoring list behind the great Stacey Jones and the coach, Ivan Cleary. So Maloney from in front, 32 out for the first points of the grand final, and it's good. We'll take a break. Rapira is with the ball for the Warriors as we come back to you live. This match going to 100 countries around the world. I hope you're enjoying it. This is the big day in rugby league here in Australia. And Mateo loses the ball. It's play on, says the referee, and Watmo is with the ball. Playing it. Oh, now he's come up without the football, and Manly get a penalty. Well, this will be interesting. Will they go for the leveller?
I don't think so. No, they can't. They can just tackle him.
Well, Simon Mannering, no surprise, has gone up and asked about the ball coming loose from Feleti Mateo, because Mateo wasn't looking to offload. And he's of the belief, the skipper, that a Manly defender had to play at it. And they have spurned the opportunity of equaling the score at 2-2. They're going for more, the Eagles.
So Manly with Vic Morrow playing the ball on the 20-metre line. And here's a ball inside perfectly to Stewart from Cherry Evans, and Brett Stewart has scored. Brett Stewart has scored the first try of the 2011 Grand Final.
Oh, you know it's coming, but how do you stop it? It's in your tip sheet. Brett Stewart back on the inside. But when they do it so beautifully, it's almost indefensible. This is great work here from Cherry Evans. Too wide a gap between the play the ball and the A defender, the wide defender, and Stewart. He loves it.
He didn't score a try. Back at the Grand Final, the Telstra Premiership Grand Final. And Brett Stewart scores his 113th try. Jamie Lyon to attempt conversion to take Manly to a 4-point lead. And Lyon raises the extra. Andrew Johns on the sideline.
Yeah, from this end on view, watch the third man who made the tackle come back in the line here for the Warriors. He comes back from behind the line and just, it's Ben Mataluna on the Keno replay. Look, he's ineffective. That's where the hole's played. Mataluna coming back. No communication between Kevin Locke and Mataluna. That opened up the game, up the hole for Brett Stewart. And look at this guy. Can't he score a try in a big game?
And he's paid $9 with TAB Sportsbet, Brett Stewart, for being the first try scorer. He was second favourite with the markets that went up earlier on the day.
And the man Andrew Johns was talking about in defence, and Mataluna, when he went back, he went straight back behind the play the ball, which means that he was marking nobody. And Shane Rodney about to come into the action, and Watmo with the spring and the step now.
Just outside the 20-metre line. Balance pass to Rose had a question mark on it. He'll play the ball though, George, on the 30-metre line after a little juggle. And here's Glenn Stewart getting a ball to his brother, and Brett is tackled on the 40-metre line. A swamping tackle by Maloney.
And Glenn in trouble after showing that pass. He's still on the ground as Watmo is claimed by Mateo. The trainer out there for Glenn Stewart. Last tackle now for Manly. Cherry Evans to kick it out the short side.
The kick is big, and it's down to Locke on his own line. Locke coming back. He's a real flyer. And he's out to the 20-metre line, where it's gone way to Vatave. Out to the 30-metre line now.
Stewart back, heading back into the defensive line.
This is Tupou. A little mix-up at the play the ball, but it all came off the feet and played just inside the 40-metre line as the captain Mannering brings it out towards halfway. 6-2 in favour of Manly, one try in the game. You've only just seen that. This is Luck playing it to Jeremiah, and now for Johnson. And the youngster puts it high down to William Hopewale, takes it safely. He fends away from a second. But that second man that he beat has come back and made the tackle, Jeremiah. Manly now. Jamie Lyon going in and taking a run.
Two, mate. You cut, Jamie.
Close to the ruck, and there's blood in there. Yeah, it's Jamie Lyon who's
out the back, mate.
bleeding heavily.
Wait there, mate.
Has been sent out the back.
Back here, Warriors, with me. Feleti, hold.
Just over 6 minutes to the half-time break. Very important period coming up now. Each forward starting to show signs of tiredness. That's what led to that Brett Stewart try with the inside pass and lazy defence.
Here's Morrow turning it back to Ballin. And He's an easy target. Pulled down by Mannering in the centre of the ground. Rose trundles the ball a few metres forward. It's gone away now to the boot of Foran, and Foran kicks it down towards Tupou. And Tupou was a good piece of work by Michael Robertson. He desperately wanted to tackle him in mid-air, and he pulled his hands out of the tackle. Now it's Christian Inu.
He's a really clever player, isn't he, Michael Robertson? He's deputised at fullback, a couple of other positions when they've had some injury concerns, and he just does everything right. So easily could have given away a penalty there for tackling the man in the air. He'll head to the English Super League in really good touch still.
On the 30-metre line, played there by Brown. Here's Mateo, one of the real trump cards in the Warriors team. He plays it just on his own side of halfway, and Maloney again with a driving kick down to Hopewate. And he's going to get it back almost to the 40-metre line, where you would like to think that your sets would all start from there. So the kick from Maloney wasn't one of his best. Ballon goes short to Hopewate. He's through one. He's got a couple of others almost grabbing at mid-air. It's come now to Glenn Stewart. He goes across with a double pump and gets it to his brother Brett. He turns it back on the inside, picked up by Foran. Good hands by the 5'8". He'll play it outside the 20-metre line.
Falling off tackles now. Some bad signs for the Warriors coming up to half-time.
Jerry Evans to Glenn Stewart, running back at Rapira and Jeremiah. And this is the last for Manly. So it's Foran to the line. No look. Brett Stewart, Steve Maddai. It's come back and gone backwards.
You're short there.
Archer said he's short.
Hand over.
Wow.
No. Hey. Here.
Was that a pass, or did it get knocked out of his hands? If it was a pass...
Nah, got knocked out, I'm sure. The defence knocked it out.
Gee, it was available, wasn't it? And Stewart so close. My God.
It's Kevin Locke. Mateo to dummy half. He just picks it up with one hand. Then he throws it out the back, and Locke is there again. So they're inside the 30-metre line as Jeremiah goes to Maloney, and Maloney is almost through. But he's pulled down by Shane Rodney. Back to Jeremiah, across to Madalino, they're making good yards. They're up to the 40-metre line. Manly's into the ground. Johnson keeps it low, and the bounce is very good for Hopewate.
Yeah, don't understand that play from Sean Johnson. They had a really good roll on there. Should have gone one more play and then gone high and put some pressure on. Now Manly just bring it back after being handed the football.
Robertson it is, taken by Rapira. Now Watmo, tackled on the 30-metre line by Matalino. From Ballon, it's found Moro, and Moro will play the ball.
Did you see that play the ball there from Watmo?
Hang on, mate. Tackle 4. Smithy.
I've got a little injury here, but I think the play the ball before that, Watmo, he looked to me like he was facing the grandstand when he played the ball. Let's have a look. But how's that a play the ball? My God. He dropped it too. Now we've got a little injury. I mean, Watmo dropped it and then played it in the wrong direction.
This is going to get a penalty, I think.
Is he hitting?
Yeah, he's got him straight across the mouth with the forearm. And he's going to go on report, and the penalty will go to Manly. You talk about not facing goal in play the balls. It's become almost prevalent.
Well, that was a terrible one, Rabbits.
Yeah, I saw a worse one, I think, in the Manly-Brisbane game.
Well, how do they miss that? Rabbits?
Well, I can't answer your question. It's a stupid question anyway. You know I can't answer. Go and ask the video referees and the touch judges and the 2 referees. That's the best way to get an answer.
It's not a stupid question.
Oh, well, the answer was pretty obvious. Here's Rose to the 20-metre line. Ballon, Cherry Evans, Glenn Stewart, and a lovely play on the blind side. And Stewart to Hopewate. He flicked it back, and it's gone. Mateo, 15 out from the line.
It's only a matter of time till these Manly boys work it out. They're so close to getting around the Warriors with these second man plays. Stewart nearly there. Had the winger turned inside out and the pass just went astray. If the Warriors can get in down only 6-2 at half time, they'll be pretty pleased with their first 40 minutes of this grand final.
Mannery, Ivan Cleary, who debuted as a player in '92 with Des Hasler at Manly, and today they do battle as coaches. 10 times they've met. Hasler's beaten Cleary 8 of the 10 occasions. Here is Hopewadi taken down by Locke, just 2 metres out from the line. And so Manly, the camera behind the dead ball line, showing us the pictures as Lyon plays the ball on the 10. And Hopewadi again, with only a matter of 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Played by William Hopewadi. Glenn Stewart puts a kick in. It's going to find the winger. Robertson's down the right side. Vardavey can't get him. Locke comes across. Ball goes to ground with the man carrying it. He gets up and runs. He gets it to Ballon. Ballon looks for another try in the grand final, but he's pulled down. 7 metres out from the line. It's come to Foran. It's gone to Cherry Evans. They've really got them at 6s and 7s. Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans has scored. The rookie number 7 has scored in the grand final right on half-time.
Well, this might be one of the most memorable tries in grand final history, not so much for the last play, but for the lead-up play at their own end of the field. Glenn Stewart, genius. Look at that. In his own 20-metre zone, a little grubber kick for his winger, who then fights his way into the backfield. Probable obstruction there, but it doesn't matter. Everyone was just running to get to the play. And then Ballon is pulled down only 3 metres short. From there, the Warriors were always struggling to get back. And Cherry Evans on the Keno replay said, "My number's up, baby. Dummy, dummy, whoosh." In he goes, the kid. Scores a grand final try. Big blow for Manly. Right on the break of half-time. But Glenn Stewart, genius. Genius, what Glenn Stewart did there. Wow.
And there's the conversion. So just as we were thinking Ivan Cleary would be happy with the scoreline at half-time, Manly carry the football 80 metres and Cherry Evans caps the first half with a try. 12-2 at the break, coming up in Toyota half-time. Wally Lewis, Andrew Johns, Peter Sterling will take you through the mammoth moments of the first half. Glenn Munsey's got the latest from TAB Sportsbet, and more troops arrive aboard a Black Hawk helicopter. You're watching the NRL Grand Final on the home of the London Olympic Games. Welcome back to the ANZ Stadium at half-time in the grand final. And Manly looking to win their 8th premiership, leading 12-2 at the break. The Warriors come back. When trailing through the year, they've won 5 of 11. Manly, when leading, almost unbeatable. All the work is with the Warriors, and I would imagine deflated by the fact that they gave up 6 points just before half-time to an absolutely brilliant piece of work from Glenn Stewart. It was about adventures. It was just classic football, particularly coming from a back row, to kick a ball that probably travelled about 4 or 5 metres on his own 20-metre line to an unmarked winger.
Might be the best grand final play I've ever seen. And that's a big statement, but a courageous play at that stage of the game. We've spoken a lot about the Warriors getting up in their face and racing up and in defence, and it just must have been ticking over in the back of his mind that if he got a chance he would try it. But to do it at that stage of the game, I mean, a minute before half-time, down in your own 20-metre zone, to come up with a play like that, sheer courage and absolute genius.
Manly have led at half-time on 16 occasions with 15 wins. Just to put a cap on that earlier comment of mine. Cherry Evans starting the second half then. Manly running left to right. A brilliant first half for Cherry Evans as Rapira comes charging back. Watmo went in and has missed. Sort of grabbing a little bit up towards the chest area as he gets back into position, but he's not 100%. 40 metres out from their own line, played by the captain Mannering. It's come away for Johnson to go to Matalino. 12-2 at the break. Manly leading. Stewart, first try scorer in the grand final. Cherry Evans scoring on the half-time siren as it's played by Matalino, and it's gone right side for Maloney, and it's high and getting underneath it is Robertson, and he did well. Inu making the tackle, and played by Michael back to Steve Matai.
Well, that's a hell of an opening set of 6 there by the Warriors that ends with a towering bomb. Robertson with a great take. Inu with the tackle, but gee, they came out fired up, the Warrior boys.
Obawadi then bundled up and put away, again by the efforts of Mannering. This is Moro, and he will play the ball 35 metres out from his own line. Back for Ballon to Cherry Evans, and he drives it down inside the 20-metre line where Kevin Locke, the custodian, the fleet-footed custodian, brings it back. And they walk him back a few metres from where he came. And Johnson's pass is awful to Vatave.
Well, they got in each other.
I don't know what happened there with the number 7 for the Warriors. That was an awful ball to give the big bloke.
I think they got in each other's way. I'm not sure that Johnson knew he was passing the ball to the big fella, because he's got a player in the way there, and now Vatave will come in between them. So he sort of thought he was throwing at one and then lunged it towards the other, and it's just utter confusion.
Manu, he's bitterly disappointed. Scrum going down in a wonderful attacking region for Manly. Glenn Stewart, Daly Cherry Evans is with the ball again, and he'll play it just inside the 20-metre line. Cherry Evans plays it there. Jamie Lyon, Glenn Stewart, he double pumped it. He found George Rose, who finds Kieran Foran. And Foran will play the ball. 19 metres out. Manly on the attack. They come to the right side, and Moro stands and offloads. Ballon, Cherry Evans, Lyon looking to flick past. Johnson grabbed him by the collar, and he plays the ball close to the line. Over to Cherry Evans again. Then Glenn Stewart. He gets it back to Ballon. It's gone deep to Foran. Foran to Matai. The wing is unmarked. Robertson, he got a shoulder on him though. Tupou.
In the touch, third. Thanks, man.
And into touch against Manly.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to score, didn't they? Great work from Kieran Four, and he holds the ball until he commits Krishnan Inu. And that appeared as though it might have opened up enough space on the outside. Look at Kieran Four in here, holds it. Then he gets Inu interested, 2-on-1. But the winger Tupou able to get across and deny Michael Robertson.
It was great defence. Really good defence. Under pressure, they held their cool. Didn't panic. Any panic there, and they'd have conceded a try for sure.
Scrum packing 10 metres out. Down at the southern end of the ground, which is the Warriors' end, and Vatave does now what he wanted to do off the Johnson pass. And it's with Mateo now. He dances his way 25 metres away. Underbelly Razor tonight at 8:30. 8:30 for Underbelly Razor tonight. Now Jeremiah goes away to Maloney, and Maloney turns it in for Rapira. 40 metres out, down the middle. Mannering now. 12-2 to score. Manly leading in the grand final. And Maloney sends this ball end on end. It bounces for Stewart. They thought about trying to put him into touch, but that would have been a penalty. And Inu simply puts a hand on Stewart, who's unable to get up.
Well, he did well to clean it up, Brett Stewart. Showed a lot of urgency to get over, and as you point out, as soon as the defender touches the man on the ground, it constitutes a tackle. There's a long, long time to go in this game for the Warriors. There's a little bit of contact with the head there. Brett Stewart, accidental from Will Tupu, and the man coming in late as well. Most important thing for the Warriors is that they do not concede the next points.
So Stewart able to play the ball finally, and it's Rose playing the ball inside the 10-metre line. It's come away to Hopewade. And William, who leads the game at the end of this match for a couple of years, as he goes on a missionary exercise. Played by Stewart, and now it's over to Morrow, and Morrow gets it out towards the 30-metre line. Vic Morrow. Now it's come away for Foran to kick, and it's gone down towards Locke, and Locke will use Tupou. And Matai is up in his face, and Tupou will play the ball inside the 40-metre line. That hurt him. That hurt Tupou. And he's got blood. Mannering is trying to get the attention of either the trainer or the referee. I think it's a bit late for the referee, but certainly the trainer. Madalino is with him now.
Well, a lot of his teammates, they were pointing. They were very keen to get some attention out there. Steve Mattai's cut up there as well, as Matai gets rid of Stewart, but he hangs on. Plenty of claret flowing out there at the moment for both teams.
So Matai is bleeding, and so is Tupou. I can only imagine there's been a head clash between the two when Matai went up on Tupou. Let's have a look at it. And yes, that's what's happened. I thought there may have been an illegality, but no. And the ball on the ground loose, and the referee has ordered turnover for Manly, and now they're calling timeout.
Yeah, he's got a cut eye too, mate.
It's quite incredible, isn't it? They're both... That's your evidence there that accidents do happen on a field. I mean, they didn't go down there to headbutt each other, but it just happens. It's footwork and a little bit of lack of timing, a little bit of shimmy, goes into hit, bang, bang, head on head. Look at that. Oh,
well, Tupou's left the field, and he's heading up to the sheds now, and Elijah Taylor is going across the play on the right side. There'll be some stitches dispatched there, and Matai, well, he's keen to stay on, but hard to stem the blood flow up around that area. It just keeps coming.
You need my doc with the staples. He used to fix him.
Yes, mate. So we'll wait.
It was Michael DeVere, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mick DeVere. Stapled him up, kept him going.
Yeah, mate, I have.
There was a knock-on from the chase there from the Warriors, contesting the bomb. As Ray pointed out, the handover now for the Manly team, waiting for Matai to leave the field, and Jamie Buer in the headgear, about to get his first taste of the grand final.
Fortnight today, live from Newcastle's Osgrid Stadium, that beautiful stadium up there. Test match football, Australia versus New Zealand. Darren Lockyer's last game of rugby league on Australian soil. It'll be a wonderful test match, and you'll see it live and exclusive on your Olympic channel, Channel 9. Rose playing the ball now. Back inside his own 20-metre line. Here's Shane Rodney, who got himself a grand final back in 2003. Win at Penrith. Here's Buer. One of about half a dozen players with a Parramatta connection involved in this game today. Cherry Evans handing it back. Glenn Stewart passing. Watmo with the ball, standing, offloading. And it's back to Rodney. Rodney away to Robertson. Robertson down that left side, and that's lovely cover from Maloney. 40 away from the line. Foran short, Watmo short, Morrow with the ball. Inside the red line, down Warriors end. And here's a kick from Foran, asking a question of Inu. He puts it down. And the referee has ordered knock-on against New Zealand.
Yeah, no communication, but perfectly placed kick there from young Cherry Evans. He brings it down in between winger and fullback, and they both sort of go and balk each other. Locke was going to make a mighty leap at that, and then out of the corner of his eye, he saw that Inu was coming across. Look at that. You bring it down in between winger and fullback. They both make a lunge at the ball. They get in each other's way and come up with the fumble. Perfectly placed. Get into him, Desi.
Winner of 3 grand finals, 2 as a player, 1 as a coach. This is the 3rd time in 5 years he's taken Manly to the grand final.
Well, I think early in this second half, Des has to realise if they can do something here, they might just have this well and truly under control, as Will Hopewade is well confronted by 4 Warrior defenders.
12 metres out from the line. Hopewade playing it to Brett Stewart. JB Lyon. Now Glenn Stewart. He'll play the ball right in the middle of the ground. 18 metres out from the line. Watmo, run around. Ballin, then Foran, around the back. It's gone to Stewart, around the back again. It's gone to Robertson. Michael Robertson to play the ball. Back for Jamie Buhrer. Now it's come away to Rodney. Now Brent Kite up to the 10-metre line. Playing the ball for Matt Ballin to the short side, to Foran, to Stewart, to Buhrer. And Buhrer's able to get it back. Stewart got it on. Foran for the line. Drops the ball on the ground. New Zealand appear to have it.
Kieran Foran. Kieran Foran. This is exactly what I expected of him today. Pumping away down the left-hand side of the field. And now that he knows Tripper is gone and Inu's on the wing and an inexperienced centre opposite him, he will demand the ball more and more, Kieran Foran, until he gets his money on.
Brown with the ball. Warriors working it out of their own territory. TAB Sportsbet have just taken 2 bets, one of 40,000, the other of 30,000 on Manly at $1.20. Manly $1.20, Warriors $4. TAB Sportsbet just taking 2 massive bets on Manly at 5-1 on. 30 metres out from his own line, William Hopewade. He'll play the ball. Wrapped up down there by Mateo. Now it's with Jamie Lyon. He's taken by Michael Luck and Sam Rapira. Inside their 40-metre line, Brent Kite. A bit of a hop and a step before he hits the challenge of the defence, and taken by Mannering. Now it's with Foran. Keen to get away over there towards Buhrer and Robertson.
Oh, he's warming up, Reynolds. The kid's warming up.
Here it is with Rodney, then Watmo. Watmo and Moro got mixed up there, and Watmo will play the ball on 5. 35 away from the line. Cherry Evans, he puts a ball high into the air. Getting underneath it is on this side of the ground, Hopewade, and that'll be turnover to the Warriors.
They did well there for Eddie Mateo to wrap up. Will Hopewade. Daly Cherry Evans should have just followed his first thought there. He was going to kick high, and then he thought, no, I'll do something. No, okay, I'll kick high, and didn't hit it the way that he wanted to. As Natalino leads the field, Elijah Taylor takes it forward. Russell Packer back out there now for the visitors.
Jeremiah now. Aaron Packer runs it at Glenn Stewart. He puts him down with some help from Moro. Down low. Jeremiah on halfway. Maloney across, and here is Locke. And he beat 1, he beat 2. He's dragging a 3rd and knocked on by Mannering. Oh dear, that would break your heart if you're Kevin Locke.
He's down injured, Locke. Locke's down injured.
We'll take this break and come back. Back at Homebush with the lighting and starting to give its assistance for the grand final. First day of daylight savings in most states of Australia.
That was interesting from the Warriors there. They went for a bit of a push and a screwing of the scrum. We haven't seen that for years. Maybe they were saving it up when they really needed one against the feed, but they didn't get it there.
There's Buhrer.
They were the days, Rabbits, weren't they? You could screw the scrum.
Screw the scrum, take the hooker away from the ball. That was all part of the art of scrummaging, but there's no art in scrummaging anymore. The ball is down, and Checken said, play on! 40 metres out from the Warriors line. Played by Ballin now. And here's Kite with the ball. Kite gets it away low to Watmo, good hands. Glenn Stewart is with it. And Glenn playing the ball back to his brother. Now it's gone with Brent Kite, and Kite is taken down. 30 metres out, middle of the ground. Ballon away, left side play, Foran behind Rodney. Brent Stewart is taken by Taylor. Gambled and won. Now Buren to Foran, a little kick, it's turned them around, and Locker's there, passes to Inu. Inu comes back to the middle of the ground, and he's come outside the 10 metres. He steps outside the 20 metres. He's outside the 30 metres. He's outside the 40 metres. And he loses the ball.
Can you believe it? That was football. Now, this happened to the Warriors 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It goes forward.
They kept making half chances, and then at the end of it, squandering possession. And in the end, the Broncos wore them down and blew them away. But watch this for football. Look at these kids. My God. Great run from Inu. Step, push, shove, step, push. Into the backfield, push, shove. Fighting for every inch. And the ball comes loose.
It was on the back of another promising raid from Manly down that side. In fact, Elijah Taylor made a decision, came up. He got a little bit lucky. I think it was a juggle of the football from Manly. They created something. Kristen Inu had dropped a long way back early on. Another great opportunity for Manly now. Jamie Lyon. Will Hopewade with nowhere to go.
40 away from the Warriors line. Glenn Stewart with a carry. He loses it. It went out of its own accord. And it's with Jamie Lyon. He's doing some fending, but Michael Luck brings him down with Mannering and Packer. 35 away, down the middle of the park. Foran goes short into the midriff of Kite. And Kite playing the ball. Back for Ballon. Ballon to Cherry Evans. Cherry Evans with a big dummy. And then he gets away from Mateo, but he's grabbed by Jeremiah. He and Packer putting him away. Penalaval is just 12 metres out from the line. 5 tackles gone for Manly. And here is Foran. He puts a little kick in. And they've made a mistake. Foran had scored. Foran scored himself.
I just want to check that the Manly player grounded it. Definitely wasn't knock on from Warriors.
Kieran Foran just showing his great experience that he's picked up in a short period of time. He was looking to get a restart here at worst, but the kick has put pressure on the Warriors, and a mistake has come his way, and he's followed his own kick to get his hand on this. We're only going upstairs to the video referee to see, firstly, the onside. That's not a concern. It's whether Kieran Foran has made a clean play at the end of this after the mistake from Kristen Inu. And I think we'll get a better view of that, but he knows straight away that, yes, he has. He actually stopped, propped, took his time, and gets 2 hands down on the football right there. That's a try.
He's a good one. He's such a good player.
And so much talk about the halves coming into this game. And when it comes to halves in big games, it's about their decision making. And he wasn't thinking try there, Kieran Foran. He put it through to keep the pressure on, and the pressure he applied came up with a try in his favour.
Can you believe that Kristen Inu, a matter of seconds ago, has made one of the longest and bravest runs in a grand final? And he's the man that knocks on and gives Foran the chance to possibly close down the grand final.
Look out here.
No try.
They're saying little bobble there. The behind the one vision just showed there was a little bobble of the hands.
Here, you go there.
They're saying a little bobble before he got the ball down. That's extremely tough call.
Well, we hear the word apparently coming that some kind of separation.
Well, if he bobbled it backwards, didn't he?
It's a try as far as I'm concerned, but I won't say so in the paper tomorrow when the Warriors still in it.
We're looking for a ball. They can't play without a ball.
Stay behind, mate.
Well, that's amazing. That is simply amazing. I thought it was a try, no doubt in the world. The dropout is a beauty. It's gone 58 metres down to Brett Stewart, and Anthony Watno brings it back, and he runs into Jeremiah. And he and Vardove combine with Packer to resist Manly. Well, had that try been given, that was probably game, set and match. Here is Brent Kite. I had to laugh at Kieran Foran. He was running away, cheering to the crowd behind the southern red ball line. Of course, that's where the Kiwis have got their major support group. And of course, Kieran, he can bet either way, can't he?
That was just a cameo appearance from Bureau. Steve Maddai back out there at left centre.
He's cut now down the middle, looking to offload, but he's able to struggle his way down to the 10-metre line without an offload. And he plays it for Ballon. Ballon to Foran. Foran, a long ball, a floater out to Maddai, who's back on. Maddai playing the ball, 8 away, the last. Foran. He kicks across the park. Jamie Lyons a fly up. He batted down to Jerry Evans. Jerry Evans to Hopewadi. He flicked passes. Glenn Stewart had scored. The brothers Stewart had scored in the grand final.
Oh, what a pass. What a great ball here from Will Hopewadi. They'd actually covered it quite well. It's a tactic that the Manly side come up with, the deft little kick across into that no man's land area for Jamie Lyon. He deliberately knocks it back to his own players. Daly Cherry Evans finds Will Hopewadi. 3 defenders there all going across, flick back inside. They won't take that one away from Glenn Stewart.
Well, there he is, Glenn Stewart. He really made the Michael Robertson run possible just before the break. Now he's been on the receiving end of a brilliant pass from Hopewadi. And David Middleton tells me that when both Stewart brothers have scored, Manly have never lost. 9 out of 9 is the record when both Stewarts score in the same 80 minutes.
I heard some concerns about Glenn Stewart as to his fitness coming back into this side after basically 5 weeks on the sideline, when you consider they had a week off as well and games between matches. But he's as fresh as his line moves in to convert, and does.
Beautiful passage of accuracy going with his kicking. Wally Lewis sideline.
Well, the Keno replay will show absolute perfection about everything that Manly did here. Wonderful kick across field from Kieran Foran. Just have a look at the way Jamie Lyon got up into the air to cause an opportunity out wide. And William Hopewadi just tips it back inside. It's a great support play from Glenn Stewart. Look, we've got to say William Hopewadi, he won't be in rugby league for the next 2 years, but many people will never forget that try for the rest of their lives.
And here he is marking the ball back in his own in goal and sending Brent Kite back out to the 10-metre line. They've still got more than a quarter of the game to go, and Manly are out to an 18-2 lead now.
And this is where emotionally the Warriors will start to struggle, because you come into these grand finals not thinking about losing. If you suddenly start to think you can't win, that's when sometimes the scoreboard really blows out. And we've seen this a number of times in recent years. They'll do really well. They need to hit back with a try.
With Watmo out to his own 40-metre line. Rugby World Cup quarterfinals are just 1 week away. Rugby World Cup live on Nine's Wide World of Sports right around Australia. Free and exclusive. On the 20-metre line, played by the Warriors Inu. Maloney with a scurry.
And the other real danger for the Warriors is that they start playing the scoreboard, realising they've got to score 3 converted tries, and that can lead to errors. They just need to go through what's been so successful for them over the last couple of weeks. Because, as Ray points out, still a quarter of this game to go. They've got time. If they implode, they'll be out of it. There's an example there. Mateo throwing a pass that wasn't on.
Kite it is, who comes up with the ball for Manly.
The heads went down there too. When that ball was turned over, there was about 10 of them dropped their heads, and that's a bad sign. Manly are ruthless in these situations if they think you've lost touch.
Jamie Lyon then with the ball and getting it off for Joe Nullival. The 2 most experienced grand final players on the field. Joe in his 3rd, Jamie in his 4th. Watmo up to the 30-metre line. Taken out there by Mateo. Now to Cherry Evans. Inside ball for Glenn Stewart. And he's just outside the 20-metre line. To the short side for Cherry Evans. And he rakes a kick back into the middle. It'll go good.
And a very, very brave performance from Anthony Watmo out here in this second half. He was injured when he took Sam Rapira from the very first charge back from the restart. And he's just stayed down after that involvement there. He's not right, but he's battling on and continuing to be a constant headache for the Warriors, who now get a bit of a roll on with Lewis Brown.
So we saw Manly then carrying Lewis Brown a good 5 metres back. And here's Maloney breaking into the backfield. He's got the 30-metre line behind him. And then he's tackled beautifully around the legs by Michael Robertson. Now it's Locke, dodging and weaving, getting it away to Mateo. Mateo is 5 metres out from the line. 5 tackles gone. Mateo pushes the marker away. It's gone to Johnson. Johnson reels and does a 360. Dummies. This looks like Melbourne again. And Vatuvei scores for the Warriors.
Not sure, Ray. He looks certain to score.
To grounding, please, Russell.
They should have gone wide to the left the play before, after Maloney had broken them. The ball got caught up with Mateo in around the posts. Manu Vatuvei trying to get the football down, airborne. Oh, yes. Yes, I think so.
That looks in.
I think so. I don't think a fingernail made it down to the grass, did it?
Well, I hope it's a try, if only for what Sean Johnson did to create it. Sean Johnson's play there was just so Benji, it's not funny. This has got to be tried.
Yeah.
Manu has scored. So Manu Vatuvei has scored to reignite this grand final somewhat. It's 18-6 and Maloney from the touchline is 24 metres out. Wonderful performance again by the youngest half in a grand final, I think, for something like 64 years. The kick from Maloney has just gone wide. Andrew John sideline.
Sit back and enjoy this from Sean Johnson. This is an act of brilliance. This is a genius at work. Look at this. He goes to the line. Not much doing. Spins out of the play. On the Kuno replay. Watch this. Dips in and out of holes. Showing, going. Bang. Look at that for a ball to Manu Vatuvei. 17 minutes to go. The key is this young man. He's got to get his hands on the ball as much as possible. Just get out there. Back-to-back plays. That's unbelievable.
Will Hopewate around. He did exactly the same thing to Kevin Proctor last week. Spun them around 360.
So the Warriors out to the 20-metre line, just adjusting that. Ohio back into the game. That comment on Johnson. He's the youngest since Corey Hughes in 98. What is 64 years is Johnson and Cherry Evans are the first rookie halfbacks to be opposed in a grand final. So here is Mateo, 7 metres on his own side of the halfway. Here's Brown making metres. Running to the defence line. Ohio for Johnson. Johnson puts it up and going through is Vatuvei. He puts a rake on it. Then Locke passes to Maloney, but I think this ball may have gone forward at some stage.
Whether it's a knock-on from Manu.
He's looking for a knock-on, Tony Archer.
Well, he's making sure he doesn't want to make an error because this is a big call, but one would think that Manu has got a touch here. Great rally from the Warriors, showing plenty of spirit. We've seen that plenty of times this year. Let's check the onside. Gee, Manu's come from a long way away, hasn't he? There are 2 players in front of him, but I don't think they chase. No. Manu comes streaming in from the left-hand side of the field. Up he goes. And touch. There's your knock-on.
Yeah, the ball goes forward off Manu's left hand.
Fairly special little pass there from Kevin Locke at the end of it.
That was brilliant.
And we've seen 2 incredible finishes during the course of the day as the red light comes up. And the Warriors went to Golden Point to win Toyota Cup. And that wasn't a crucial miss from the sideline from James Maloney. They'd be happy to score 2 converted tries and send this one into extra time.
Yeah, but the fact he didn't kick it, Peter, allows Manly field goal territory, doesn't it? To extend it to 13. And I think Manly's attitude now will decide their fate. Do they try and protect the 12-point lead and maybe win by 13, or do they actually keep playing football and try and extend it?
Well, there's Inu getting one on Maddai. What a battle that's been on the far side.
Nullava with the ball now.
Comes Kristen Inu in, and Maddai doesn't get put back on his backside like that too often.
Now Cherry Evans turns it back for Kite, and Kite to play the ball 8 metres on his own side of halfway. We're on the last tackle, and Cherry Evans boots it down inside the 20, and it's with Krishnan Inu now, back on his 10, and he's met, and he's able to fling the ball back to Locke, who dummies to Vardave. Then he runs a circle. Now he's grabbed by Jamie Lyon. Right on the 20-metre line, Warriors in, and this is Vardave again. 30 metres out from his own line.
Yeah, they're not done with the Kiwis, are they?
14 minutes of the game remaining. This is Taylor.
Oh, they are not going to die wondering. We've got some exciting times coming up.
That's Lillyman with the ball. Taken by Glenn Stewart. Almost on the halfway line. It's behind Mateo now. Back it goes. Supported by Hohaya. And Hohaya will play the ball just outside the 40-metre line. The kick is coming from Johnson. There it goes down towards the goal line, and backpedaling William Hopewadi is taken by Brown just in the field of play. Cherry Evans, Jeremy Lyon, he's taken 2 metres into the field of play. That's Manly's second tackle. Here's Robertson coming in. He's tackled 10 metres out from the line. Manly's third tackle. Brett Stewart away to Kieran Foran. Foran was taken inside the 20-metre line. Michael Luck, the chief tackler. Foran groggily getting up to play the ball. Hopewadi on 5.
Well, the Warriors should get the football here in good field position. Cherry Evans will do well to find open spaces. Balked at the kick. He's going to run it. No, he's going to pass it. Watmo claimed and caught. Left footer from Evans.
Eventually getting a kick in, but it's gone down to Inu, and Inu brings it back. Warriors on the first tackle, 35 metres out. Here's Maloney running at Williams and Kite. Hohaya now. High ball to Johnson. Johnson to Mateo. And Mateo is 12 metres out from the line.
That was beautiful sleight of hand there.
Hohaya again, goes right side. Johnson is there. Johnson asking them a question. He spirals the ball out to Taylor. Taylor will score!
Brilliant.
Warriors are in! Elijah Taylor has scored! It's 18 plays 10.
Sean Johnson again. The brilliant ball for Mateo to put him into the backfield created time and space on the next play for him to dance around, go to the right. Watch how he closes up the Manly line with his footwork. Dance, 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 dummy, dummy, dummy. Bing, got you all. Closed up the Manly line, then found him out with a long ball on the Keno replay. Absolute brilliance.
And excellent finishing as well from young Elijah Taylor, played in the Toyota Cup triumph last year. Look at the footwork here. He gets on the outside thanks to the pass from his halfback, and he's able to beat a despairing dive from Steve Maddai. And that's about as much emotion as you get out of Ivan Cleary. So you know he's pleased with that.
Well, he knows the kick's important, and this is a big, big, big kick. A big kick. He's wide out. He didn't hit the other one too well at all, but somehow he's got to steady the nerves and give this one good kick.
James Maloney. 25 out, almost on the touchline, and he's just pushed it away again. Andrew John sideline.
Yeah, sit back and enjoy this again from Sean Johnson. This is classic halfback play. Firstly, the short ball, and then the double-up play. Play for play, the long ball to Elijah Taylor. That's how the great halves play. Play one side, have a little look, and then get your hands on the ball again. Engage defenders and free your outside men up. What a player this young guy is.
Yeah, go onto YouTube and type in the name Sean Johnson and watch him doing that, playing touch football. I think it's at about 300,000 hits, the particular footage. You'll see him doing that at 15 years of age. Now he does it on the game's biggest stage, on its biggest day.
Madalino is back in the game. And not held. He got a ball away, and it's with Ohio, who goes over to Mannering. And Simon Mannering playing the ball inside the 40-metre line. 18-10, Michael Luck, who gets the ball away. Ohio not quite sure where to go. Tackled in the middle of the ground. Played by the Warriors, and they've gone to Mateo. And he's 40 away from the Manly line now. Nullavow the tackler. Johnson again, waving players around him. There he goes with the long ball to the right side again. Mannering was on the end of it. Stands and unloads. Mateo no look. Here's Taylor again, and Taylor is tackled 25 metres out from the Manly line. 5 tackles gone against the Warriors. As it comes long and it bounces a few times before Luck picks it up. It's gone to Johnson. Johnson puts a kick in. He regathers and he's taken down. Got the ball away. Brown has got the ball. They go for the corner. Vardavey gets the ball away to Brown. He puts a kick in. Terry Evans will try and get back into the field of play, but he doesn't. Oh, that is just electric. That's indescribable football.
Wow.
What happened there?
It's taken my breath away. It's an awful pass from dummy half. Takes everything out of play. It just puts a full stop on it. Sean Johnson kicks, regathers before the line. This pass and that pass, incredible. Manu Vatuvei one-on-one. And then to Lewis Brown. Kicks it through the legs of Cherry Evans. And the chase is back on the inside. They pants him and then they keep him there.
How good's that?
Stay behind.
How good is that? Manu with a no-look pass. Brown with a grubber kick. Pulls the Dax down. Ah, how good's that? No cord in the shorts there, Evans.
18-10 in favour of Manly, but the Warriors are coming down the hill and fast.
They're storming home.
Madalino will play the ball. 22 metres out from the line. To the right side for Michael Luck, and here's Lillyman with a strong charge. Just outside, 8 minutes to go. Here's Johnson, he turns it back, it's gone to ground. Manly have got it. Jamie Lyon, he'll play it on the 20-metre line. Opawati runs.
Big play there from Jamie Lyon. Monstrous play to come up with that scramble.
A fantastic fight back by the Warriors. Just when this game appeared gone, and it possibly is gone, but they've certainly given us some wonderful entertainment in this fight back, and Watmo can't get up this time.
No, this side will take a breather here. What about the head cuts out there? We saw Madai, Tupou, Jamie Lyon's got some blood up there, Kieran Foran. So James Maloney.
81,988 here to watch the grand final today. That's the 6th biggest crowd at this stadium with this assembly of the stadium, or configuration is the word. It's the 6th biggest crowd ever, just short of 82,000 people.
That's the last tackle now. Cherry Evans kicks straight down. We'll find Sean Johnson. No, in fact, Kevin Locke, I'm sorry.
And Foran came up out of the line, and Locke eventually was tackled by Glenn Stewart. Johnson dummy half, Maloney looking for the gap.
Let go!
And James Maloney will play it back to Lance Hohara. And here is Michael Locke, who's racked up 38 tackles in the game. Mannering 36, Luck 38, Lillyman with another strong charge. And he'll play the ball a few metres into Manly's side of play. That's his 14th carry. Now it is with Mateo, and he's inside the 30-metre line. So Fellini plays the ball. It's come from Brown. Here's Johnson. He kicks. Are they onside? Robertson's underneath it. Oh, Inu flies above them. Flick passes out the back. Picked up by Maloney. Lays it on the ground. It went forward. Picked up by Williams for Manly. And he'll turn it over and give it to Manly anyway.
Back here, Warriors!
Well, the pass from Inu went aimlessly along the ground, but had it hit the mark, Manly was short in defence. And the Sea Eagles just hanging on for dear life. What a comeback by the Warriors.
Cherry Evans, Glenn Stewart. Marvellous game from both of those players. And this man, Jamie Lyon.
This is where experience starts to count. Jamie Lyon diving on that loose ball. The biggest play of the grand final in the second half. And Glenn Stewart just starting to take some control. They'll get into a kicking position now. Drive it deep into the corner. Clock's on their side.
Play by Moro. Cherry Evans giving an inside pass to Glenn Stewart. And he'll play the ball on the 40-metre line. Des Hasler riding them every inch of the way. And the kick down the ground goes dead.
Well, that was deliberate.
Yeah, he just kicked that towards Lidcombe. He said, let's get it down there as far as I can.
And he's happy that, well, Des wasn't particularly impressed maybe, but that's backing your defence. That's saying, OK, we'll give you 20 metres, but we think defensively we're good enough to stop you going the other 80.
Play by Rapira. Mannering carries the football almost to the 40-metre line. Ohio goes back to Madalino, who goes over to Mateo. And Mateo to play the ball. 7 or 8 metres on his own side of halfway. It's Madalino with the ball again. They roll him over and put him on his back and basically tell him when to play the ball. Maloney shaping to pass. Tackled on the 30-metre line now.
Big kick coming up here.
So that is Taylor, a dummy half. There's Johnson, he shaped a kick, he passed. Madalino in front of Mateo. Mateo to Lock with this blinding turn of speed. And Zadave, he passes off the ground. Mateo flops the ball down. And Ballon drops on the ball for Manly.
Just have a look at Manly. They're on their knees, on their hip, on their haunches.
Brett Stewart
desperately trying to get out of their own end.
Robertson for Hopewadi.
Well, at the moment, the difference in the game is that brilliant play just before half-time of Glenn Stewart's. If Manly only lead by the 4 points at half-time, we're just about locked up at this stage.
Play by Glenn Stewart. The kick from Cherry Evans is big again and taken by Locke. Back in the shadows of the goalposts. He passes for Krishnan Inu, who dances away, loses the ball, and it's with Williams for Manly now. The clock showing about 3¼ minutes of time.
Yeah, that should be it.
Ballon for Moro. Manly now can almost start the celebrations of their 8th premiership title. It's come over to Glenn Stewart, he dummied in, he went out, and Ryan was with the ball. For Jamie to play the ball, the captain. The co-captain, Grayson King, unfortunately not in the game, and here is Ryan, a dummy, and he goes for the line. But the Warriors, with pride in guarding that line, force him back. Hopewadi's pass is wild. It's with Moro now. And he'll play it 18 metres out from the line. 2½ minutes of the grand final to go. And here's Foran, who dabs it in. Oh, Maloney's passed the ball forward in goal.
Passing your own in goal. It's a goal line dropout.
And it's a goal line dropout. Well, you can't be offside in your own in goal, but you can't deliberately throw the ball forward. So this is an interesting ruling from Tony Archer.
Well, it's a moot point now because Manly fans can start celebrating. The 2011 premiership is going to the Peninsula with the Manly Sea Eagles.
And it's with Cherry Evans.
It's been a spirited second half fight back by the Warriors, but you cannot deny Manly this success this afternoon.
Kite, who won the Churchill in 2008. Who's going to take it tonight?
They might just have one more try in the Manly. Warriors have been valiant, but not much left in the tank, you wouldn't think.
Glenn Stewart, he gets it away for Jamie Lyon to score in the shadows of full time. The captain, Jamie Lyon, scores for the Eagles.
And no one more deserving. Jamie Lyon has had an outstanding season. Not a lot of centre street quarters are captains of their club, and I know Jason King has been his co-captain, but he has an enormous influence from a little bit wider down that right-hand side. I know that the likes of Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran will tell of the influence of the number 3. And it's beautifully played here. Kieran Foran out to Glenn Stewart, who's been magnificent, attracts 2 defenders and puts Lyon into a gap. Nice line running there from Lyon. And the man out the back helped him as well because it attracted the defenders. But Jamie Lyon reaching out to finish the 2011 season.
Here comes the coach. Here comes the coach.
He's coming down to claim government. Des Hasler wins his second as a coach and 2 as a player, so it's 4 grand finals for Des Hasler, who's been at the Manly club. That's Jason King, the injured co-captain. Des has been there for more than a quarter of a century. The siren sounds and Manly have won the grand final.
Hey, they've got to have a shot to goal. No, you're going to worry. You're going to worry. They're all on the field. It's up to you. You want to do it? No, it doesn't matter.
They're going to turn down the kick and goal because
Just there, mate.
the celebrations have already begun. No, Michael Robertson in his final game for Manly is going to have the honour of trying to put one over to finish his career.
They asked him if he wanted to take the kick. He said, yeah, of course I do.
Started at Canberra, finished at Manly, he takes the shot and he's got it.
Michael Robertson leaves Manly in the best possible way. He wins another grand final. He didn't score 3 tries today, but he kicked the final goal. Manly have won their 8th premiership. The final pass of the grand final was given by Glenn Stewart, who performed one of the most brilliant things I've seen from a back rower just in front of half-time. And that may well have been the turning point in the game.
We'll even take that out of his performance this afternoon, Ray. I thought he was head and shoulders the best player in this game. The Clive Churchill medal winner will be announced later on, chosen by Bob Fulton, Bob McCarthy, Des Morrison, Alan Smith. But let's go down to the playing surface with Andrew Johns.
Yeah, I'm with the happy coach here, Des Hasler. Desi, how's that feel?
Yeah, that's great, mate. We've played well all year, I think, and I think everyone would have to agree that we were deserved winners tonight.
Any special mentions, any players tonight?
Too many, mate. Yeah, it's just so many thoughts running through. A whole lot of great reasons why we've won. Some great stories in there. Full credit to the Warriors. I think they did themselves proud. So, but I can't fault these boys, mate. A great culture, great club.
Saw a special moment. Brett Stewart run away from his teammates and come over and embraced you for 10 or so seconds. He's had a couple of tough years. Yeah. I bet you feel ecstatic for Brett.
Yeah, mate. He's had a tough couple of years. So it's fantastic. I think he's finally got closure, eh?
Go and enjoy it.
Thanks, mate.
So Manly have defeated the Warriors 24-10 in the grand final. So the celebrations, now they can begin officially. Brett Stewart, he and his brother both scoring tries in this memorable grand final. The first brothers ever to score tries in the same grand final. And that probably doesn't surprise anybody. I made the point during the commentary that they had scored, both brothers in the same 80 minutes, 9 times for 9 victories for Manly. You can change that to read 10 from 10 now. Wally Lewis out in that mall in the middle of the Homebush Stadium. Wally?
With Warriors halfback Sean Johnson. Sean, so close yet so far.
Yeah, mate, you know, we tried everything out there tonight, but end of the day, they were just too good for us.
You guys came back with a real fight back in that second half. You kind of wish you threw the ball around a little bit earlier, or was sticking to the game plan the most important thing?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, we'll try and stick to the game plan. You know, it worked for us, I guess, over the past few weeks. And I guess, you know, towards back end of every game, it's always going to open up a little more, isn't it? So, you know, to their credit, they held on really well.
Mate, I guess it doesn't get over the pain of losing, but this club has an enormous future in front of it.
Yeah, look, the club's, you know, I guess in pretty good stead. And, you know, have all three teams in the finals. So it's something pretty special.
Well, mate, congratulations for the loss, but all the very best for the future.
Yeah, Wally Lewis there, out in the middle as we hunt down interviews in amongst that celebration. But it's a wonderful moment for the Manly club. They first won a premiership in 1972. And this is their 8th, and 3 years since they won their previous. So we'll take a break. And still a lot more to come, including the victory lap and the Clive Churchill Medal winner as best on ground. Ken Sutcliffe hosts the presentations after this.